Auburn at Georgia is going to be so uncomfortable Saturday. It's uncomfortable for Georgia because it's a tough place to go into. It's uncomfortable for Auburn because they've already got a couple of losses and they can't afford to lose another one. Remember Texas, Florida last week. Texas is going into the swamp. Florida's coming off a bye. It's must-win mode for Florida, and they did. That's the exact same spot Auburn's in here. It's must-win mode. They've got to find a way. They are only a 3.5-point dog. Or, to put another way, Georgia, the Dogs, are actually a 3.5-point favorite. Is that line low? Is that spread low to you? It's going to get really bad here if Auburn loses. I'm just telling you. I don't think I need to mask what I'm saying. Like Hugh Freeze's job's kind of on the line in this game. It could be on the line. So, did anything get fixed? Doesn't matter if you have a bye if nothing got fixed. Auburn, earmuffs to the children down in Lee County. Auburn is 108th in total yards per game. They're 114th in pass yards per game. They're 118th in explosive plays. They're 118th on third down. It's like a Sarah McLachlan special on Tuesday. They're the most sacked team in FBS. Oh, sad. So Georgia is 13th against the run. They're only 86th against the pass. So that goes back to my question, did anything get fixed? Once upon a time, we were out on the West Coast. We were watching Jackson Arnold at Elite 11. Thought he was going to be the next great thing. He has played behind a very, very poor performing offensive line. He himself has performed poorly this year. I don't think there's one singular culprit to why they're the most sacked team in college football. I think everyone is to blame. Did you fix anything? Florida used their bye week to fix things. In Florida's case, they looked and said, oh, wait a second. We've got perfectly functional parts here. We got a really good tailback. Let's just lean on him. In other words, Florida had things that would work. They just weren't using them properly. Does Auburn have things that'll work? That's the question. Because if not, you don't really have anything to fix. Now, if you did fix something, you can have success through the air against Georgia. Tennessee showed that. Alabama showed that. I'll talk about that more in a second. Georgia's pass game needs to jump them right here. Georgia should never let this game be in doubt. Don't even let it get pulled into the fourth quarter. You've been there before. You know what this place can become if you let Auburn have life in the second half. You can be the most well-rounded offense that Auburn has faced so far this year. You can be that because A&M struggled against them. So Georgia can be that. That's why you went to the portal. That's why you overhauled this receiver room. You didn't overhaul this receiver room to do what Penn State's done, go in a shell. You went and got them so you can use them. Gunnar Stockton threw the ball well against Tennessee. So now you go on the road again, hostile environment, all the stuff in the hype videos. Again, use those guys. Because the run game's back. They're nearly top 25 in the country. So all the concerns about whether Georgia would run the ball successfully again this year, they have. And offensive line hadn't even been great, but they have. So Auburn's pass D's in the 80s. You should be able to have success through the air against them. You know what quiets a crowd? 17-3. That quiets a crowd. But I think Auburn's going to go down firing here. Hey, wait just a second. I appreciate you guys watching. Most of you are subscribed. If you're not, please do so. It's free. It helps us keep the show free, and that's how we do college football year-round. All right, back to the video. Because I talked about the wide receiver talent Georgia has. Buddy, they don't have what Auburn has. Auburn's got Cam Coleman. And if Jackson Arnold has time, and he may, because Georgia's pass rush has not gotten home a lot this year. It has been very much something that's been absent from the Georgia defensive profile. If they can't get home, if this is finally the moment where Jackson Arnold is given a little time to operate, they got to feed Cam Coleman. He had 3 catches versus OU. He had 4 versus A&M. He needs to have a dozen-plus targets in this game because he could really abuse this Georgia secondary. He's not the only one they have. Singleton could do a lot of business here as well. Cam Coleman's different. Cam Coleman's the one you look at and you say, maybe something more than just human, maybe a little alien DNA mixed in there. You don't get the ball to him, it doesn't matter. So get the ball to him. Again, this is advanced stuff. I don't expect everyone to be able to keep up here. But when you've got a freak show at receiver and you got a secondary that's vulnerable, you just throw the ball to the freak show. Really good X's and O's stuff here. If I need to slow down, let me know if I'm losing anyone. The environment's not going to swallow Georgia. You got to beat Georgia. You watched them against Tennessee. We were there when they played Tennessee. 0 false starts. So as much as I respect Jordan-Hare Stadium at night, that's not what's going to beat Georgia here. You got to. And that wide receiver group for Auburn should be a huge mismatch against this Georgia secondary. Frankly, I think the Georgia wide receiver core is a mismatch against the Auburn secondary. And the total's only 45.5, huh? I'm not touching the total. I'm just saying I gave a good solid argument for the over there. What matters here? Does it matter? Does the bye week matter? Let's take a look at what the model thinks about this game. FanDuel's got Georgia minus 3.5 right now. We think Georgia should be a bigger favorite. Some of these lines this week are baiting you. We don't think this is one of them. I don't think this is Florida 2.0. I don't think Auburn's going to come out of the bye and look totally different. I think Georgia's going to win the game and cover. They're going to be disciplined. They're not jumping off sides a ton, or they're not false starting a ton. They're not shooting themselves in the foot. Not a ton of drops like they had last year. Just, you got to beat Georgia. Straight up. I know Auburn played A&M close. They played Oklahoma close. And by the way, if you don't understand this point spread, that's really what's in play here. Desperate team at home, off a bye. Jobs are on the line down there. For all of how bad Auburn's looked, you got to remember, they did play A&M close on the road. They did play OU close on the road. You figure they come home desperate against a Georgia team that's already been beaten once, and they needed 40 to win in Knoxville. They're a vulnerable team. It's not a vintage Georgia team. That's why that line is so low. I think Georgia's fairly desperate as well here. Remember, they've already got a conference loss under their belt, too. So I think Georgia's going to find a way to win and cover here. If you don't, you can go over to FanDuel right now. That line's available. FanDuel, the exclusive odds provider of this show. I do have big news. We're going to Missouri this weekend. You know who else is going to Missouri? Not this weekend, but December 1st, FanDuel, available in Missouri, December 1st. And so for those friends of ours in Branson and Jefferson City and Columbia and any other city in Missouri, I'm a big fan of La Plata, Missouri, personally. Good rail watching up there. I believe the Marceline subdivision runs through there. Good stuff. Anyway, I'm losing 99% of the audience. If you're in the state of Missouri, come December 1st, it's on. And new customers up there, you will find out what winning $300 in bonus bets is all about. Like you'll sign up, and this is a little ways away, but if you sign up, you bet $5, they just give you $300 in bonus bets. And in your case in Missouri, it won't even matter if you win or not. How great is that? Now, as for the rest of you, you also have that opportunity. New signups, FanDuel.com/Josh Pate. Bet $5 on anything. And if it hits, you get $300 in bonus bets. You do need to win, though. So make sure you win. Pick a sure thing.